Yo guys, Jacob Bardoti here, back for another vlog, and within today's video, I didn't know if I ever wanted to tell you guys about this damage, but I figured you guys have a right to know, and it might be good content for the channel. So when I picked this car up, the car was actually vandalized whenever the previous owner owned it. So there's a spot here that you guys can kind of see, there's some scratches there. I used Dr. Color Chip and filled it in the best I could, but I think it's gonna have to be wet sanded. And I don't know if you guys noticed in the badge install video, but there's also some scratching here and right there on the fender. Now my goal, if this doesn't work out, is I'm just gonna get the trunk repainted or find a new trunk as a donor, or if it doesn't work out, then I won't even touch the fender, but eventually that'll have to get repainted as well. I've watched a few detailing videos on how people wet sand and stuff like that, so I figured I'd give it a shot because, like I said, even my backup plan was to just get this repainted or find a new trunk. I picked up some sandpaper from Walmart just a couple minutes ago. It's a 4-step kit with 1000, 1500, and 2000 and 2500. I think all we're going to use is the 2000 and 2500, and then obviously it's wet sanding, so you'll need water to keep it wet. And then I have a little sanding block for this paper. As you can see, it's that one right there, so it should work out pretty good. I haven't washed the car in a little bit, so I need a little quick detail, so that way there's not just dust and stuff being sanded in there as well. So I'm gonna hit that real quick with the Liquid X detail spray and their green microfiber. Just like that, she's back to smooth as glass. This is pretty nerve-wracking because you're literally sanding away clear coat, and I really care about this car and I just don't want to mess it up and make it worse. So I'm hoping these videos that I watched and stuff work out, because I'm going to start off with the 2000 grit, just go nice and light, and then I'm going to finish off with the 2500 grit, and I'm going to use my polisher and stuff like that, so that way it can really shine it back out and I don't have any dull clear coat. So this is the 2000 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to start off with this. I applied it to the block, and I'm going to soak this entire area, soak this, and just press really lightly for about 10 or 15 seconds and see if you can see the scratches kind of disappear within the clear coat. Here it is after the 2000 grit. I'm going to hit it with the 2500 grit, and you kind of want to feather it out so that way it blends in. But you can kind of still see the little white spots, but I've seen videos before where that has it as well. And the 2500 grit is still taking off some clear coat, so you have to remember that. And I mean, it's smooth to the touch, so I think we're good here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the 2500 grit, then polisher, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so here's after 2500. You can see I kind of feathered it out. You can barely see the white marks going this way. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the polisher, see how it turns out. Fingers crossed I didn't just ruin my trunk. Either way, like I said, my backup was to get a whole new trunk and respray it anyway, so if this fixes it even like 75%, I'll be happy. So now I'm ready to polish. I put you guys on the tripod. I don't know why I didn't do that a lot earlier, but this is a microfiber by Meguiar's, this pad, and this is just the Harbor Freight dual action polisher. I'm gonna be doing a 2-step polish just because I want the best results for this. I'm using HD cut, and then I'll follow up with an orange pad and HD polish, which is a finer, like going up in from 2000 to 2500, that's the same thing as HD cut to HD polish. Let's see how it turns out. I really hope a lot of this comes off just like how I did my headlights one time. So just gonna prime it and move it around. Pulling you guys off the tripod, this is after just the HD cut in the microfiber pad. You can see it's pretty gone. Like, you can still see a little bit of those deep scratches. I mean, you can feel those with your fingernail. So I don't know how good it's gonna take all that stuff off, but right now I'm pretty happy with this, just because you have to be in that perfect light. You have to know it's there, and you have to really look for it to see it. So overall, I'm pretty happy. So I'm gonna hit it with the HD polish, and then we'll see how the finished result looks. So there's the trunk all nice and polished out. You can see it's like a mirror, but you can still kind of see it right there. It's this blurry spot about there. So you can see it under the right light, and if you know where to look, but for the most part, I think this is about 75% corrected, which I'm happy with. I don't want to go any deeper. I mean, I can feel it with my fingernail, but like I said, I just don't want to go any deeper and cause an issue where I take off too much clear coat and get into my paint. Since I was so happy with those results, I'm gonna go ahead and try it on the fender by the 5.0 badge and on the little flat spot on the fender. just because it's just OCD, and I'm pretty happy with this. This is 75% correction, which is kind of what I said in the beginning that I would be happy with, just because I'm not paying to get a full repaint and all of that, and this will get me by. The big reason why I'm doing all of this is because I actually got accepted into a show called Karmecca. So I'll put @Karmecca down in the description. It's one of the Sacramento's like biggest shows coming up this season, so I was actually really happy that I got accepted, because you had to send in all these photos and all the mods on your car and stuff. That's gonna be May 27th, downtown Sacramento. So if you guys are local and you wanna come out and support and come meet me, I don't even know if anyone wants to do that, but if you guys do, come out to Karmecca May 27th. My car will be in the show and I'll probably be around it, so you guys can come talk to me. Before I get started on the Fender, I want to shout out Liquid X. I got hooked up with a lot of these products, and I'm going to be making videos on how to use each individual product that they sell, as well as some of their new upcoming products I kind of got a sneak peek on. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with more and more detailing videos, just because I did just make that whole how I wash my car video. But I don't know, if you guys really want to, leave a comment down in the description, just because I like to see your comments. I do read every single comment, and if you guys want me to go more in depth about how to use their entire lineup on my channel, then go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you guys missed how I do my whole detailing video, I'll put a link up in that little card up here, and you guys can go check that out as well, because that's how I keep my car so glossy. So here's the 5.0 badge. As you can see, there's some scratches here. That's from the vandalism from the previous owner. He wasn't actually the one that did that, but someone vandalized the car when he owned it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe down the area with the detail spray and clean it up, because you can see it needs a wash. And then we're just gonna do the same steps: 2000 grit, 2500, and then 2-step polish. So hopefully it turns out pretty good. I'll tape off the 5.0 badge, so that way if I accidentally touch it a little bit, it's not too big of a deal. It'll have masking tape on it. So I did the same thing as the rear. I just hit it with the 2000 and 2500. My battery died while I was recording, so I just went ahead and did it. So here it is. You can't really feel that with your fingernail, but you can still kind of see them. I think the polish will take a lot of that out. Right here you can see the one on the fender. So same thing, I did the exact same steps. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and polish it and show you guys the finished product. You guys just saw me wet sand and polish out all of those little scratches. I got them all about 75% good enough. You know, I just don't really want to have to repaint an entire fender or trunk. Off camera, I also hit it with a little quick detailer just to kind of clean up the car real quick, because it has been a dusty week with lots of pollen. I'm gonna show you guys the results and tell me what you think. I brought her out here in the sun so that way you guys can see what it's gonna be like whenever it's pretty much just sitting outside and you guys are walking around it. So I'll take you to the front fender here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Pretty much 75% gone. Taking you guys over here by the 5.0 badge. Very, very light, if at all. You can see it right there. Here's a different angle for the fender. Yeah, you can barely even see it. Walking around back right here, I'm gonna show you guys the scratch on the trunk. Make sure my shadow's not in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. Super light, super faint. So I mean, walking by and stuff, you really cannot see it from here. But yeah, just in general, here's a walk around of the car. Like I said, you really don't notice it when you're walking by. On the trunk, on the fender, I don't even see it honestly, and I see it barely on this one. But this one I just was really cautious because I didn't want to hit this edge where I know paint's a little bit lighter. So you know what, I'm okay with this, and it's better than repainting the fender. Here's the two cars. I'm still working on the daily just because it needs to get inspected by CHP and all that, because now it has a salvage title. But this one's all good to go. I'm really happy with the results. I was really scared coming into it just because it's wet sanding, you're putting sandpaper onto your paint, and it's your clear coat, but everything turned out good. It's really not that hard. It's just take your time, go nice and slow, and make sure you're doing it all properly. You can always take off more, but you can't put it back. I could have gone down to a 1500 grit, but I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. Maybe with more experience I would know, but for this, for my first time, I'm completely happy. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the garage right here, just so that way it's all nice and neat when I come back. But after I clean up, I'm gonna go over to a business park, do a couple revs and flybys. I know you guys really wanna know how that exhaust sounds. It's the Corsa Sport, again, with the black chrome quad tips. A lot of you guys have been commenting that you guys wanna see revs, flybys, stuff like that. And like I said, I read all of those comments, so these are the suggestions that really end up in the videos. I'm gonna knock this out real quick and then I'll go see you guys over at the business park. Made it to the business park. Now I'm just gonna do a couple of revs, put you guys on the tripod and show you what it sounds like at different RPMs. Probably just gonna do like a small one, a medium one, and a large one. I really don't want to make a bunch of people mad and have my car tagged for being in this area. There's also a little straightaway road right here, so I'll probably just do a small, like around town type of acceleration, a medium, and then obviously a faster one to where it really opens up the exhaust. I hope you guys got a pretty good idea of what my car sounds like. I really love this exhaust system. It's awesome. I would highly recommend Corsa to anyone just because it has zero drone on the freeway and then gets that loud. Also, a quick shout out to Ken. He had an orange 6th gen Camaro. He came up, saw me making a video and watched over my camera, and we were talking cars and stuff. It's a really clean Camaro, but I just didn't want to get him on camera. He's a little older. I don't want to freak him out with the camera in his face. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. If you guys enjoyed, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.